We're doing it live, everybody. Hi. Welcome back to Wish here on Proficiency Bonus. It's been a while since I've DM'd, so first things first, I'm sorry for what's about to happen tonight. To my players, to the audience, to all of you. But most importantly, to myself. But I'll get on with it. Hi everyone, I am the remains of the DM that is known as Ink. I've been eaten by a slime, an ooze. So unfortunate. But alas, we must carry on. A few announcements just to get started off. Thank you to all of our supporters, Twitch, OBS Streamlabs, Team MZ. Without their continued support, we wouldn't be able to give you all of these great shows. So thank you for your support, guys. Also, last month, April, we did a bit drive for the Zephyr Foundation. If you do not know what the Zephyr Foundation is, they are a New Jersey-based charitable organization for helping people with, I believe it's autism? Yes. For autism awareness. We raised $120 just from bit donations. That's all thanks to all of you wonderful people who watched. And then our friends at Tabletop Legends also contributed to a donation. But I'm here to tell you that Proficiency Bonus is going to pool together. We're going to add a little bit more to our donations that we all together can be giving $1,000 to the Zephyr Foundation for support and education for local New Jersey people who have autism, which is super great. And I'm really, really glad to have been able to be a part of that. If you have any questions or if you would like to know more about the Zephyr Foundation, I believe we talked about it a little bit on the last Mystic Hour. They also have a website, which is zephyrfoundation.org. That's ZEFER foundation.org. If you want to find out more information about that and possibly how you can continue to support them, even though we've moved on to May, we should support them all year round.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be doing more foundation drives in the future. Just because we topped this one doesn't mean you should stop giving. Keep contributing. Keep paying it forward, guys. That was awesome. I'm so happy for you.
It is the D&D community is a very, very giving community. So let's continue to be a part of that positive change in the world, because we can all use it. Okay. I think we can go to the players. I think that's pretty much all the announcements. It's been a while since we've played. We have some different faces here. Danica's back!
Yay!
And then also we have my lovely friend and DM for one of my I guess it's kind of like a home game. This is Chell, who is amazing. They do great writing. They have great characters. They're super funny. And look at them. They're just gorgeous.
No.
Oh.
Chell is going to be joining us for a guest spot today, playing their character Felix, who I believe we had some art of going up, or we will eventually. Very, very cool guy. But so, also we are down a JJ, and still for the foreseeable future we're down Lip, so we're kind of going to be just puppeting characters. These guys have copies of stats and stuff, so we're just gonna see how it goes. It's been a while. So for recap purposes, basically we last left our adventurers just entering into a small cave that was present in the side of the hill in the Everwood, in the strange land known as Euranea. The party had encountered a traveling explorer of sorts, a dungeon delver himself, by the name of Jasper, who told them that he had seen a large amount of treasure being moved into this cave, which seemed to be housing a clan of goblins that were moving in. Wanting to investigate in hopes of getting their pockets a little bit richer, the party soon found out that the cave has been absolutely infested. Upwards of somewhere between 30 to 50 goblins have made their home in here. And it was at that moment that we had decided to cut off so that they could figure out what they wanted to do. So, my lovely adventurers, what would you like to do?
So last we saw, we were like kind of at the top of like a little basin almost, right? And it looks down. And you said that we were like seeing like bodies or like unconscious people.
Yeah, so we are at the top of like a cavern that kind of spirals and tunnels its way down. It's you've come to kind of a wide open room, and it goes down like a top almost. It spirals its way down. You see various tunnels, all lit with torchlight, and you can see near the bottom that there were basically these makeshift carts that seemed to have bodies being moved into the tunnel systems. Not all the way down at the base, but sort of part of the way down. You were not able to discern whether these people were alive or dead.
And remind me, did they say that they were like, this was only Jasper who was like, hey, I know some goblins nearby who have I've seen some treasure come in and out. Has anybody else mentioned them?
They were not. It was not mentioned by the elves that you had been dealing with previously. This was mostly Jasper. Through his own sort of personal adventuring, he's stated that while he's not necessarily a monster slayer or a fighter, he does enjoy doing cave delving and ruin exploration. And he said that this part of this tunnel network was actually originally some sort of old ruin that he was investigating when he saw the goblins starting to move things in, and he then later escaped. And that was about maybe 2 weeks ago. And he's still here with you now.
Temerity, do you see that shit down there?
We're whispering, right?
I'm guessing.
I will assume you are not. There's no guards near you or anything. I will assume you're whispering.
Temerity, do you see
bodies or?
Yeah. Gotta have people around to have bodies. Hey, Jasper. What are the people around, like, besides the Shari?
There are a few other towns that I was telling you about upon the edge of the forest, and there's some people that make a living in the forest other than the Valvashani. But if these are people, they're most likely from the towns, possibly people that were doing logging or some other kind of business.
I can't really see if any of them are moving. Do we think that they're like prisoners or slaves, or are they dead?
If they're in a cart, they're probably dead. I wonder if they're eating them. Or maybe they play with them.
Are the bodies stacked on top of each other, or are they laying out like next to each other with no other bodies on top of them?
It looked like there was stack. Yeah, like stacks.
If they aren't dead, then I'm super sorry. They must be pissing on one another. So I do hope they are dead.
Yeah.
This
think so.
This is definitely a little bit more than I was anticipating. They must have moved real fast. I don't know where they came from, but it looks like they've brought the entire clan over. It's little rich for my blood, to be entirely honest.
Well, do you think we should try to loop back around and check the other two paths just to get a better picture of what we're completely dealing with?
I think that'd be a rather good idea. I don't think we can take these people in a frontal fight. it seems like.
Sounds like it would be pretty good to me. I don't want to stay necessarily too long. We could go in a little bit. I know that where some of the ruins that I've already explored are approximately, but I don't want to get too deep down in there. So if you end up wanting to go deeper, I'm probably going to wait up here where it's a little bit safer, if you don't mind me.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I'd like to know what was down the other paths, especially considering, I mean, if we go down this path, it spirals down, we're going to run into some of the goblins eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really hide from them on these paths.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to stay to the main path. It looks like they've got different tunnel systems going around, probably connecting in and out of the ruins. That would be probably a safer bet than going straight down into the middle of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bubbles, dear?
Yeah.
How quiet can you be? Are you a silent one, or are you a bit
Not
more?
normally, but I can try.
Just your best.
Okay.
All right.
And remember, I do have that spell that I was taught. It'll be helpful for sneaking around. It's just a matter of if you want to use it to get in or get out. He has a once a day pass without a trace.
Pass without trace.
That you have told him not to use as of yet.
Maybe now. I feel like maybe getting in is a little more. We can't even get the treasure. If we can't even get the treasure, there's no use in, when we're getting out, we could run quite fast. I would think.
That's very true. Listen, there's always more gold to be had, but there's only one of me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd probably be pretty good to try to use that for going down through the main paths here. Get us through quicker if we're not seen.
All right, but you want to check the other two paths up at the top first?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we need to make sure that we're... Can you let me go to the front so I can just try to look for signs of traps? I can't really do much to disarm them right now, but I can at least tell you what they are if I see them.
Yeah, there was that one a little bit up before the tripwire that you pointed out, so look out for that one.
Please do. I do not want to almost die again.
Okay, so you're going to pull a little bit of a U-turn. You're going to make your way back up towards more near the mouth of the cavern. You make your way up. I will not make you do an additional check for the trap that you already found, a very thin kind of tripwire. You all step over it with no issue, and you come back up to that kind of triple fork. So I'll remind you, so you went down the rightmost path, which led down. And then there was one that seemed to kind of curve in, and it was kind of like a squished in. You would definitely have to kind of go in sideways one by one. It was a smaller tunnel, and then there was the leftmost tunnel that actually curved up, and then there's the exit back to the forest. So you have this kind of like fork.
Maddie, do you want to split this up for a moment and see what we can find?
What do you mean? You want me to just go down both real quick?
I can go down one. I'm quite quiet.
Yeah, but do you know what to look for with a trap? Like, do you know if the soil looks like it was freshly put down? You gotta look for tripwires. Listen, I know you're constantly probably thinking about your looks, but you can't always be thinking about yourself. You have to look at what's going on around you.
I can't.
Yes, but will you?
Well, I can certainly try, I think, can't we? And I just talk to Agape and Eros and see if they respond. We can do that. And then I'll go down the left path. Temeri's bigger than me, so I'll go down the thin one that I have to shimmy.
Okay.
I'll go quietly.
Same.
19.
19. All right. So you squeeze your way through. You have to get your head to the side. it's not necessarily like completely debilitating. It's just tight. And what it does is it kind of, the reason why you couldn't follow it too long is that you can feel yourself kind of curving around. You make sort of you curve to the left and then to the right again, sort of like an S curve. As you come around the second turn, you can see light coming through. And it's a little bit hard to see. Basically, it's just this crack of light that's kind of breaking through into the darkness of this tunnel. It seems to be an exit that is about the same width as the entrance that you've gone into, but you can see that it's blocked sort of like 3/4 of the way up, and you're only getting light from like the part level with your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do I see?
I would say the way that the light is kind of pulsating, this definitely seems to be some sort of firelight.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can give me an investigation check as you get sort of closer to discern what's going on.
Investigation. Oh, that's good. 15.
All right. So as you approach, you can see that there is a full break in the stone, but it looks like something has been sort of pushed in front of it. You kind of reach out, you just kind of rub it gently with your thumb. It's wood. It looks like there's either some sort of barrel or crate that's kind of been pushed in front of this crack in the wall. And as you look in the little bit of light that you get, you can't really like move your head back, but sort of you slide down and look in. What you see limited wise is there's this sort of center structure made of stone and wood where the light is emanating from it. You can hear movement inside, little and kind of scratching and shuffling, and then you hear and you can see what looks to be a goblin that is working a pair of bellows.
So
pumping air.
So there's wait, say that. So there's a stone dais.
Not a dais. It's a structure, and it looks like he's okay, so
it looks like a forge.
Bellows. It looks like to be some sort of forge in this kind of little tucked away area.
Someone else should have gone down this, I think, in my head. Okay, so it's just one goblin?
From what you can see, you have you had a good check, but you just have a very limited view into the room. You have about maybe, a good foot and a half width. You know that you could it's possible that you could move this crate out of the way and go into this room. But that would also possibly make noise. You don't know how heavy it is. You just kind of felt it. And you can see just working the bow. Every time he presses down, the light in the room kind of pulsates, grows brighter. There's smoke. It's not coming into the little crevice that you're in, so it must be being ventilated out somewhere else.
I think to myself, the only reason I'm not going into this room yet is because I know someone I know will get a hard on if they go in first. So I'll give them that little enjoyment, and I'll turn back and I'll go see what Temerity found. Okay.
So Temerity.
Yes.
What you see,
I rolled a 15 for stealth.
Okay. So you slowly make your way up.
Traps.
You look around for traps. You do not see any other. There's no loose earth. There's no tripwires. You don't see any kind of string or anything like that. You make your way up sort of a little hill. It curves up to the left. What you do see, there's a few stones and boulders, but then what is very interesting is, so you see carved stone. And this carved stone is of a different color than the rest of the cavern. And then what you see is a doorway, rectangular, no door, 6 feet tall, 3 feet wide, and just goes to a straight cut stone hallway. Just goes perfectly straight. And the thing that you immediately can tell is all of this stone is like perfectly cut. It is clean. It is completely smooth. There's no kind of... It's not natural. It's been very deliberately cut. It's different stone. No light. You have dark vision. You can't see to the end. But in the shades of gray, you see what looks like maybe the floor is kind of subdivided. Not necessarily tiles, but, cuts, slabs of stone. That just kind of very, very typical, just formulaic, same size stones that go down into this perfectly cut, smooth stone hallway.
Without going past the threshold, does it seem like this pathway leading up to here, does it seem like it's well traversed? Are there any signs of frequent and or recent passage? Or does it seem like the goblins are ignoring this?
I mean, there's no footsteps. It seems like obviously most of their activity is deeper within. There's very noticeably a path that leads up here. Like the dirt on the ground is all of it is trod upon. That's how you kind of were able to discern these 3 paths. But there isn't necessarily any evidence that goblins have really made their way, at least from where you are now. There's no footprints or any marks. Like, it's very clean, and goblins aren't clean.
Yeah. So, I mean, just getting a little bit closer to the threshold, do I see any kind of writing or any kind of artistic carving or any magical runes?
You do not. It is
just
walls. Like, are you like...
Oh, no, I'm not going past the threshold,
Okay.
my good sir, without checking it for traps.
Okay, well, so from there, it's just...
Sorry, this is McDonald's.
It's just slabs of stone on the floor and then smooth walls. The only thing that could technically be considered, or, decorative is you have, like, the equivalent of, like, molding. There's just a crease. A cut crease along the walls, but there's no runes, there's no picturation, there's no words.
So it's plain.
It's uncomfortably just geometrically, mathematically perfect.
Oh, I don't know if I want to mess with that yet. I'll go back.
Okay.
And I'll relay my findings to the group.
Me too.
All right. So you relay the information. Temerity, Jasper does respond to what you've described. He goes, I'm remembering something similar to that now. It gave me sort of a bad feeling too. I didn't go down that way. But that's what I'm talking about. That seems to be part of the older, already pre-existing ruin structures. I found deeper in that everything is, like you said, it's different stone. It's cleanly cut. It's not been mined out per se. It's been almost like machined. Very interesting. It's what drew me here in the first place.
Yeah, but if the goblins aren't really using it, it's probably because it's not safe, or there's something about it that's off. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna find that treasure there, are we? If the goblins were doing something with it?
No, they would have been. They probably got some sort of hoard or stash where they're just kind of throwing all their junk into. They wouldn't want to keep it so close to the entrance.
But I am so curious.
You know what I'm curious about? That goblin with a forge. What the hell is that?
Yes, perhaps you should have gone down that path, darling. He was just
I need
blowing on the forge. The path is blocked for anyone goblin height.
If I can just get a set of smith's tools, like anything,
Ooh.
you won't even believe
You want
the
you
shit
want
I
me to
can
sick?
do.
Alone?
Let's sick him. He looked alone, so
Because I can
hopefully.
fit in there. I'm pretty small.
You're right. Let's unleash our little bubble and see what she can do. What do you think? Tamara, do you
gonna do it.
want us to sick them? Okay.
Hell yeah! I want some
Bubbles.
freaking smith's tools.
Let's go. Why not?
That sounds doable to me. Are we all going in, or are we just sending bubbles in and we're gonna wait?
I would love to watch. And I'll back her
You
up
guys
if
can
anything
just
were to
watch at the
happen.
entrance, then if you have to crawl in after me, you can, but I think I can handle it.
Oz, why
It'll be
don't you go
entertaining.
first? Jasper, you go after Oz. I'm gonna try crawling. My horns are really big. I don't know if they're gonna fit in this tunnel. But
That's
that
what
way
I was thinking.
we're heading there.
Is Felix here?
No.
No.
Okay.
We don't
Okay,
know
just
that
checking.
person.
Okay. We don't know who
Oh,
that,
fun.
that is. Just checking. Okay.
I would say the sounds that you hear from in the pit that kind of echo their way up, they sort of like lull, and then there's kind of like there's some ruckus and stuff, and I mean you can hear now that you've kind of been in here long enough and you're kind of adjusting to the acoustics. I mean you hear chains being pulled and clattering. There's definitely work being done in here, and it sounds like every now and then, and to fight or something similar. Very, very active.
All right. I'll go ahead and move through. Or I feel like we should let Bubbles go first.
Should we have Maverick back up Bubbles?
Why not? Let's do that. And then I'll go behind them.
Okay.
If you can't fit Temerity, we'll come on back with the smith stools.
On one condition,
What?
What?
Bubbles holds my hand
Of course!
very tight.
I hold his hand right now.
Thank
I
you.
want a hand to hold. I'll demand a hand from Maverick.
Yeah, he holds out his other hand.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's
No,
go.
we won't get lost.
Okay.
All right,
Right.
we'll push through. Are we trying to be sneaky? Let's
Yeah.
try an ambush. Let's try.
I'm gonna try and be sneaky.
Natural 20. Hopefully that means I can help Maverick if he's being not good.
That's 17. Nah.
Yay!
I did not believe Maverick is proficient in stealth,
He
but
probably
he has
has a
pretty high
+3 at least.
Probably has a +3 at least. He rolled a 10.
Okay, so
he's
13.
kind of just like well, no, sorry, I mean like 10. That's with his.
Oh,
modifier.
10 total? Okay.
So you're kind of making your way through, and he's kind of like seems to be a little bit uncomfortable with the claustrophobic spacing, but the two of you on either side of him kind of keep him calm down. Bubbles, you make your way to this crack. You can see, so there's been like a crate or something pushed in front of it. You could squeeze. It would be awkward because you have to kind of do it sideways.
I'm fine. I'm
You
tiny,
kind of, like-
man. I'm a tiny
I know,
halfling. I'm small, but I'm
like-
tiny, okay?
But it's like it's a matter of climbing over something
Uh-huh.
sideways,
Okay.
or you could move it.
Have Maverick
Um,
boost you over. Let him.
Okay,
Bounce you over.
yeah.
Possible.
I want to squeeze through it without moving.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty confident I could do it while being sneaky.
Okay. Well, so I'll
Acrobatics?
give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Even though this isn't flipping, but this is a dexterous movement, sleight of body.
Sleight of body. Here we go. Oh, not bad. So that's a 16.
All right, that'll just make it. Yeah, so with Maverick you have to do, since it's all sideways, he kind of like gets down, and you like lift your foot, so he gets his hand under your foot, and you kind of just, so you kind of get that way. Now, just to get on through the other side, give me one more stealth check at disadvantage, because you're in kind of a very precarious situation. He's in the room with you.
Okay. I think it's a 15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
15. I rolled a 13
Actually,
and a
that-
14. Plus 2.
God. Goblins have low passive perception. You kind of squirm your way in over the crate, and you kind of roll to the side, and you are behind what looks to be a sort of it's like a counter, actually. Like it's made out of stone. It's stone topped, but you're kind of crouched down, and you can see that there's these 4 shelves, and what you see is kind of all stacked on these shelves are these little molds. They're basically molds for pouring molten metals into, that are all kind of stacked up, and you can kind of look over the counter, and you can see that there are actually 2 goblins in this room. There is one currently. One now is working the bellows, smoke going up into what looks to be this sort of carved out ventilation in the ceiling. As another one is sort of holding with these like big, it's almost like he's got these comically big gloves, and is just holding with these calipers a piece of metal, holding it into the fire, tempering it. They're working together, but neither of them have noticed you.
Which one would be the easier one to like sneak up and bonk on the head?
There's one that's closer, that's more so not facing you. Easier to get to. They're kind of like, if one is right in front of you, then another one is at like 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock to it, kind of like at an angle. So it looks like the one that his back is to you, you could bonk.
I'm gonna bonk.
Okay. So I will say that I'll say give me one.
Wait.
One more. Yes.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Is there like any pebbles or anything that I could throw behind them?
Yeah, you're in a cave.
Cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get them to look one way and then attack when they're looking that way.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So, I don't necessarily know if you need a check for that. I'll say that. No. I would say
Hi-ya!
that.
Without
Yeah.
the hiya, but like
Yeah. You.
Hiya! Look at me!
You toss it. It kind of it hits the far wall. The two. They kind of, and then before they can even react, you hop over the counter, and you're going to go clobber this one in the back of the head. It did not notice you, so please roll an attack with advantage.
That is a plus 5 to hit, so 17 to hit.
That will hit. Roll damage.
Okay.
You are not raging.
Not yet, I'm not.
Okay.
So that is 11 damage.
Decapped. It's just before it even knows what's happened. The goblin head is on the ground. So the clambering over, the other goblin now notices you, but is technically surprised. So he does not do anything. Is there anyone else that wants to do anything? Technically, I'm not going to start initiative because there is a chance for you all to do one more action before it would start officially, unless something goes wrong.
Could Maverick, like, booty bop that other goblin? Do, like,
Well,
a butt attack?
Well, he did not go in.
Yeah.
So he
he's
could,
still
he
outside.
could climb in, or he could move the crate. He would probably... I think he would move the crate.
I think so too.
So
Yeah,
I'll give
I do.
him an athletics check. I don't think he's the strongest, but I don't think he has a negative modifier.
No,
I'll just
he's-
do a straight
Do a
roll.
straight roll.
Is he?
I think he had
well,
a 2.
when he shifts. I thought it's maybe higher when he shifts. I don't know.
Oh, just do a straight roll.
I'll do a straight roll. He's actually okay. So he's having a little bit of trouble. He can't kind of get his arms around to move it, so he's starting to push it. It's moving, but so he's kind of blocking the rest of you from being able to act. But Bubbles, you can do one more thing.
I think, yeah, Oz is not trying to act either. It's just like, lovely gore, and I'm just like clapping for her. I'm watching and enjoying the show.
Can I hit it again, or should I roll initiative?
No, it is surprise technically, so it would miss its turn. I'm going to just do this outside of initiative due to the fact that if you can kill this one, then
Sure. I'll try to.
you will-
I'll try to hit
these
this
will
one.
technically be stealth kills by the barbarian.
Yeah. Who needs a fucking rogue, man? I disarm traps with my hammer. It's fine. All right, let's try to hit this one.
I know.
Okay.
And this one is not roll. Do not roll with advantage for this one.
No. It was cocked. I had to re-roll it.
Okay.
So it's 16 plus 5, so 21 to hit.
It's a goblin. Roll for damage.
That's 13 damage. Nope. Yep, 13 damage. But max damage.
Okay. Whereas the one was decapitated, you then kind of quickly come over. It sort of doesn't even know, because it's like holding the metal, and it's like, do I drop it? Do I? And just axe right into the top of it, and just
Sorry.
double stealth kill, I guess, by the barbarian.
Yeah,
Wait,
Red
how did she do
Rose!
it? Wait, what
Does not seem to be
it went through its head, did you say?
Yeah.
Love that.
I just
and
don't
I think
kill.
Oz says, love that, and I'm
Love
just
that for
like,
you.
Maverick is able now to, with a little bit more time, he pushes this crate out of the way, and you can now all enter the room. Jasper is waiting back here with you, Temerity.
I'm trying to push through.
I was about to
you're
say, Temerity, are you alright? Can you make it through or not?
Yeah, hold on. It's stuck.
Hold on. Watch my eye.
Jasper, half of your face is stone. You're fine.
Oh, wow. Shade.
Not my eye.
I
But
just-
fine.
Not my
I go to Bubbles. Does one just say that about one's face being half stone, or is that a no-no? I don't know. I'm gonna look over.
It's true. My face is half stone. You have all made your way into this, into this what looks to be sort of a forgery.
What do we got? What do we got
Smith's tools,
here?
Smith's tools, Tinker's tools, Smith's tools.
Everyone, give me an investigation check as you search the room. You are hearing these. You're hearing these chains. You're hearing these chains just being pulled. Things being shifted deeper down.
15.
I have a -2 investigation, but I still got a 13.
15.
Okay. Okay.
24.
We're both like, okay. We're like
Exciting.
looking, and then Tamari's like, no! Get out of the way.
So what you see, just your. So you're looking for tools. The rest of you, are you looking for anything specific, or are you just trying to get a lay of the room?
I'm looking
Always
for
looking
anything
for
like
more
this.
knives.
Yeah, useful. Something.
And a lay of the room. I'm trying to see if there's any way
All
out
right.
of the room.
Okay. So with those checks, I'll kind of give you a breakdown. There are two paths There seems to be one that leads out. You're working geometrically in your head. This probably leads towards the large cavern that you were in, the spirally down one. There's another one that kind of goes off in a different direction, but not back in the way you came. So forward still.
Ooh.
You have this forge in the center. The ember's still going. There is an anvil. There are goblin corpses, and again, there's this counter, and behind it there are these molds for being able to pour molten metal into things. There's crates and barrels, and then there's actually this like little kind of chisel. There's this little chiseled out area that's kind of covered with like a cloth, kind of like a shower curtain. Temerity, they're not good. They're not good quality.
That's okay.
You have a very rusted pair of smith's tools. You're able to find some calipers. You're able to find a little hammer. You're able to find the bare minimum to call them smith's tools, and they're rusted to hell, but damn it, they're smith's tools.
That's all I needed.
I find like a nail and I bring it to Temerity, like, can you use this? Sorry, guys.
Yes, actually, I probably can, and I take it.
Okay.
Sorry. I hope that's okay.
You can add rusty smith's tools and a nail.
One nail.
There are inside the barrels. Would you go through the barrels and crates?
Oh yeah, I'm nosy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Bubbles would.
There is one barrel that it kind of sloshes around.
Ooh.
There's an odor to it. It's
Is
kind
it
of got
beer?
it. It's not a beer kind of odor. It's more acrid.
Oh.
Do I recognize the odor?
Make a Actually, no, you know. This is sort of. It's kind of like a crude oil. It's kind of full of this crude oil, but it looks like it's been mixed in with something else that's sort of greenish, sort of like bile-y. And so you can see there's kind of that like meniscus, I think is the correct term, on the top, that sort of shine to it, that there's definitely oil to it. From the smells of what you're getting, it gives you a sense of like fatty grease, oil, flammable.
Yeah, that's my first thought. Do I have like a vial or something I can collect some in? I just want flammable
Yeah,
oil.
are there any tiny containers for things?
Yeah.
Like
There's
what do
no-
I have?
I have a forgery kit and a scholar's pack, maybe something in there.
No, we don't have any. We don't have any of our actual stuff that we start with because we lost it all.
That's
Oh,
true.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Does this
why-
guy in the forgery have anything sitting around?
Let's see. Do the goblins have anything? I would say you don't have anything like, you don't have like glass vials.
Mm-hmm. Maybe something like one of them have a flask on them, or like something to drink water out of.
A nice mason jar.
I would say that they probably would have water skins, something more akin to like an animal bladder.
Take that, animal bladder. Love me
Sure.
some bladders.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
water.
fill it
I
with-
believe water skins are normally like
Yeah,
a cow bladder or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that and I'll fill up that with some flammable oil. You never know when you need something to get a little toasty.
Yeah. So you can.
Lip says Maverick has empty canteens from the booze he drank.
Oh, perfect.
He does. Thank you, Lip, for
Yeah,
reminding me
he's
that
like, I just popped
you're an
into
alcoholic.
Kristy roasting rogues. I'm like, that's what I'm here for, Beach.
So yeah, you could also utilize those. He wants to save one per booze,
Of course.
but
Okay.
I'll give you another one because
I'll fill that one too.
he does not believe that I could be drinking that. It does not have. It does not. This is no good. There's another barrel, scrap metal, rusted, not ingots. These are like shoe buckles nails. You found the nail nearby this crate. Shoe buckles, rivets off of wagon wheels, things like that. Just a whole little pile of scrap metal. And
I'm
I would
shoving
say,
some of it in my pockets.
Temerity, tetanus be damned. She's just rifling through this rusty, jagged metal.
Can I find, like, from the rusty metal barrel, can I find, like, some, like, circlets? Like, is there any round, like, shavings or anything? Or, like, bent that I could turn into a circle? It's not for now, it's for later.
I know, but I'm thinking these are all like really. You're thinking of like what at least like a long pliable metal, and I can't.
No,
think
something
of any.
Something small.
Like they shaved metal and it
that I could
curled
turn
naturally.
into a piece of jewelry later.
I would say the closest thing you're going to get is like a nail or something that you could bend around a finger. It's,
Okay, sure, I'll take one.
This is stuff that goblins think is scrap.
I'll take it.
Anything that's close at all to what could be jewelry is not here.
Okay.
And then I will also say there are the two exits. There's the one kind of cloth, a shower curtain area.
What's behind
You
that?
have all of those molds. Behind that, there is a chest. It's a wooden chest, small, kind of like a footlocker, padlocked, or not padlocked, but
Locked.
locked.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Is this what we're looking for?
No. That too small. The one that I saw was, big and metal, or pots of metal, had handles on the side. Took like full goblins to hold it.
Temerity, this is something.
Can I shake it? Does it jingle?
Oh.
You pick it. It's considerably heavy. It's actually kind of awkward to shake it. So it's just kind of like it feels like it's tightly packed.
Strong lady.
Is it trapped, Temerity? If I were to like use a crowbar or something to snap it
since you picked up and shook it, nothing seems to happen.
Can I try and pick it? Can I try and pick the lock?
I don't think we have these.
With what?
Any of the scrap metal? Can I try and fashion something? I believe I've
I would say
a person or two.
I would say
I could pop it with like a crowbar or something.
I would say if you want to work a nail into something that you could possibly pick a lock with, Temerity would have to do some work on it.
Okay, I have a cook dagger, a crossblade dagger, kunai dagger, and a serrated dagger too. If any of those help. They're kind of wide. They're not necessarily going to be good enough for the fine tune of a lock. You could possibly use the nail or the scrap if Temerity kind of worked it a little bit. Temerity, can you make me a lockpick? I probably need to ask you to make these for me later anyways.
I mean, do we want to do that now, or do we want to maybe leave this for, like, the way out? Like, it's going to take me a while.
We might be running out. It only depends on how valuable you think this chest might be for you. Because I don't think it'll be valuable to any of us.
Alright, well, I mean, can somebody watch the entrances, and I'll try to be quick?
Mm-hmm. I'll go watch.
Okay.
Have fun. I'll go take a look at the entrance.
How heavy is it?
It's pretty heavy. Seems full, right?
Yeah.
Could we put it in Jasper's backpack and just bring it with us?
I mean, it's
too big.
No.
It's too big.
Like it's a footlocker, and it's maybe like
okay.
It's maybe like 40, 50 pounds, maybe.
I could carry it, but yeah, that's a pain in the butt.
Smash it into enemies as we run away.
I mean, yeah, it is a wooden chest. It is not a metal chest. It is you can break it.
I could just
But that is loud.
Hack into. Oh yes.
No, I was thinking instead of like hacking into it, like kind of like using a jar or like.
Can you wedge something in?
Like a wedge, so it's like not as it's gonna be a little loud, but it's not gonna be as loud as me smashing it to smithereens.
And we have passed without a trace on, or we
Not
should.
yet. We don't have it yet.
He's waiting for you to give the okay.
It lasts an hour, right? So
do the okay now.
All right.
Lasts an hour. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's do it.
You see him. He kind of sits down. He goes into his big pack of curiosities, takes out like a little bit of chalk, he has to he finds a little piece of paper and unfolds it, and he's like reading along, and he's drawing these sort of runic symbols. He sets up these little candles that he keeps, lights them, takes about 10 minutes, and he casts Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. Good thing we did it now, because if we'd been in a situation and wanted to cast later, 10 minutes would have had to have gone by.
He knows it. He knows it. He knows it ritualistically.
Ritually, okay.
Sorry,
Right,
I can't remember how much he explained about it. He doesn't really get magic.
That's okay.
He's like, doesn't all magic not take that? I guess not. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm glad we know.
Does magic not all take 10 minutes? Have you battled before?
He watched you battle.
He's 1 minute for my turn to take 10 minutes.
He's like, listen, it's all like.
All right,
it's all
so
like hocus pocus to me.
He casts it. Okay. Bubbles, go for it. Try and should we try and be quiet?
Without I'm not trying to smash it. I'm trying to pry it open.
Okay.
With leverage.
With your.
Either with my weapon or with one of the scrap metals. Whatever would be easier to pry it open.
Yeah, there's the scrap. The scrap is like there are various pieces, of like little size. So there's no long piece of metal. You would have to use your weapon.
Okay, I'll use my weapon. To use leverage.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
It looks like a nat 20, but I think it's cocked, so I'll re-roll it.
Oh, unfortunate.
Okay, that's good. It's not that bad. Oh, actually, I'm proficient in athletics. It's 18.
You're a barbarian.
22.
Yeah. You kind of. It takes a while to actually wedge it in there. It seems like it seems like there's kind of been something that's been coating this, something like kind of oozing or dripping from the ceiling. So it was kind of stuck at the edges. Kind of you wedge it in, and you kind of and snap the whole piece of wood that the lock is kind of fixed to snaps off. With the Pass Without a Trace, it almost seems like what should echo the snap just kind of muffles. It's almost as if you were in some weird airtight room. It just kind of, it's like a pop.
Oh, cool.
But it doesn't carry.
Okay.
Cool.
I rolled the 2 on any possible perception checks.
What is inside of it?
Inside, there is a wrapped cloth bundle, which when you unwrap, these are ingots.
Ew! Temerity!
These are iron ingots. There seems to be about 8 of them.
I hand those to the temerity.
They're in a little pyramid. There's considerable weight to each one. These are just whole hunks of metal.
I put them in Jasper's backpack. I'm like, here.
Oz tries to pick one up and
Jasper
just
take
I'm just
2?
gonna leave that.
Yeah, I can hold on to a few. Yeah.
Bubbles can hold on to some too, can't she?
Sure.
There are 2 what look to be quartz crystals.
Another one of the pencil-shaped crystals that I found before that was heavier in my metal hand than in my flesh hand.
Yeah.
She's so excited.
These are larger, so they're kind of they're almost like a geode. So they're kind of
How many?
rounded on the bottom. There's 2.
2.
And then these ones are like this long and like about like that thick. So this is like you know those like goofy like big pencils? More like that.
Okay. And where did we see this before again? Remind me.
She found a little tiny sliver
Where?
while you were traveling. When you were heading your way towards the open cavern, there was like a little bit of a glint that caught her eye, and she picked up this little sliver of this crystal material, and it made her arm feel heavier.
Can I do an Arcana check?
I think I already did, and it like.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like without identifying.
Anti-magic.
It doesn't seem like they're. From what you discerned earlier, because I think possibly you did a detect magic or something.
I couldn't cast. I can't cast anything.
No. Okay. Well, from what you were getting from it, you know, it's a rock. It wasn't necessarily giving off any evidence of giving off magic.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, Maverick licked it and said it tasted salty. It was kind of like a salt. Like a salt crystal.
I do remember that.
Okay. Cool.
So there's those. There's also then a little metal tin.
Inside
that, you open it up, a little kind of metal, like woman. They're like flat. It's a little metal woman, little metal man, like little cutouts. They kind of spin. They tick 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 tick, and there's.
It's like a music box.
It's a little music box. There's little kind of music that plays. There's a mirror inside. They're on like a kind of little plush cushion, and there's a little folded piece of paper inside.
What's the paper say?
What languages do you? This is a little letter. It seems to be a handwritten letter. What languages does everyone speak?
Common and Abyssal.
Common and Infernal.
Common, Halfling, Gnomish, Draconic.
None of you can read the
Can
language.
Jasper read it?
Jasper also cannot read the language.
Wait, let me check
God
gives. Common, Draconic, and Druidic.
Cannot read the language.
Okay, well I'll go keep that little music box.
Okay, so you have the 8. You have the 8 iron ingots. You have the 2 salt crystals, and you have the music box, and you have letter with language you can't read.
Does the music box have a pretty sound or no sound?
It's old. Sounds like it's rusted, probably. You can see now it looks like maybe water got in the box.
Okay.
In the whole chest, so it's kind of rusted a little bit. It sounds almost like a nice tune. It kind of ting ting ting. You know, every now and then it seems like the the string is off on the like little thing inside. Or sorry, it's not a string. It's the little like hammer that hits the little. It's probably bent or something, so it's slightly out of tune in some places.
Okay.
That's everything you
Alright.
find in there, I believe.
So while you guys are fawning over this box and ingots and all of the stuff in it, in the distance you can kind of hear a voice kind of going, hey, okay, come on, be a little more no, I can't tell if you can't understand me or if you're just an ass. Please, just be a little more gentle.
Huh?
Hello?
Where is that coming from?
Is it from the tunnel that leads back to the main cavern, or is it from the other tunnel that goes further in?
Because everything is kind of echoing in here, it sounds like it could be kind of coming from one, kind of coming from the other.
Alright, I'm gonna check the one that's going further in, the straightaway path. I'm just gonna stand near the door and see if it gets louder.
You kind of listen. You're trying to pick out between goblins. You can hear it's never silent. There's chains
Yeah.
and the sounds of mining, and you're trying to pick out, and you can hear.
We're
you do
offline
hear-
right now.
Uh-oh.
No, we're not.
My thing is saying proficiency bonus went offline.
Shouldn't be.
I've got it up at a second window and it's still up.
I just suck ass then. Shit, sorry.
Mine's still up.
Don't scare me!
You hear the protestings of a man in common.
This way or
further down that way.
path. Okay. I'm gonna gesture to everyone and just what's the universal? What should be a signal to be quiet? Yeah. No, Oz wouldn't do that. That's too much. He'd just be like,
"That's too much."
He's not.
I don't know
not
why.
as,
I don't know.
Sure,
Like,
go for it. We'll go that way. Stealthing.
Well, so you have a forge, you have smith's tools, you have metal, and you have yeah, okay. Molds. But Oz seems to be hearing this voice deeper with it.
Yeah, I'll
Whoa!
might screw around and Smith in a goblin cave.
might screw around and Smith.
Excuse me, sir. This is a forgery.
This is a McDonald's.
Jasper kind of noticed. What should we do about these guys? And he kind of points to the corpses that you've left in the room.
I'm gonna pick them up and put them in the fire.
That's gonna stink! Don't do that.
I was gonna put them behind the box that's like in that little...
They're already in the fire.
I'm gonna move back over and be like, that is going to stink to the high heavens. What are you doing? Do you want everyone to come over here?
They're in. It's done.
Well, I don't think the forge is the forge big enough to just a little leg
to the goblin body.
It's like the forges that are in Skyrim, where it's kind of a big circular thing. Yeah, so you could.
Oh, I thought it was like one of the like.
No, it's not.
Oven?
It's not like a no. It's not like an oven type. It's like a big circular open forge.
I'm gonna put my hands on my hips and wait for Temerity. Just look at.
I'm not gonna throw them in. I thought it went like in. I'm not gonna throw them in the fire.
I mean, they can go in, but.
We eat them behind a crate, or the bar thing with the molds.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for that, Temerity. We could do that outside sometime if you're really interested in watching a body burn.
I've seen one burn already.
I have as well.
You
very
continue.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll keep going.
Now these tunnels. So what you're starting to kind of get an understanding of how it seems these tunnels work. There's the main center area that spirals down. So if you imagine those as like floors, and then you have these rooms, and it looks like this is kind of a back hallway that is connecting the various tunnels on this floor.
Okay.
You make your way down. I would say I'm not going to keep on making you do stealth checks. You have passed without a trace up. They're all working. You see goblin patrols. But what you and you're able to kind of keep out of sight. As you're traveling down, you are kind of moving around the outside, and every now and then you're hearing these protests. Protests, please.
Oh, sorry. At this point, he's just like, stop moving me. Where are you taking me? What's going on?
So you're here. You're kind of thankfully this guy doesn't seem to want to shut up yet. So you're kind of following it, and you're like, okay, this way. And you're seeing kind of these outcroppings in the stone every now and then, that different colored stone, that clean cut stone. And you're starting to kind of understand what Jasper is saying, how this is like partially tunneled out, partially seeming to be older ruins. But something else that you notice as you're making your way closer and closer to the sound is you come across this one scene. It's these goblins, they're mining, or in fact, there's these goblins watching these other creatures. There's one with a whip. These small, sort of lizard-like beings about the size of the goblins that sort of... And, it sort of makes talk at the goblin. The goblin kind of snarls back at it, another whip, as these little lizard creatures continue to work with these pickaxes, and the goblins monitor them. You can tell the smaller lizard creatures are speaking Draconic.
I know Draconic!
So, mostly just, much... Dumb green men, have your day! We'll have ours. Come our home, make us... Whip.
So they're bullying the Draconic ones?
Yes.
That's so mean.
Forcing them to work.
They're bullying the Draconic ones.
Shh. That means that they're not focusing on us. Make your way deeper and deeper. The stone gradually actually becomes that more cleaner cut stone. And you can see what was slopes becomes stairs. What was rock becomes cut floors. And you make your way down and you can see... Make perception checks, actually.
$10.
Okay.
A -1, so to that, so 15.
Okay.
15 also.
Everick has a 12. And Jasper has 15. You see a line of metal cells, bars, old tables. This is very much so not a goblin stronghold anymore. And what you see is these various goblins pulling on chains a humanoid man. They are pushing him, forcing him sort of into one of these areas. Felix, if you would like to describe your character as you're moved into a jail cell.
What have I been allowed to keep on my body, first of all?
Make a proactive sleight of hand check.
Okay. Easy enough. 19.
All right, you are able to keep one, what I would call a small or tiny item hidden somewhere on your person. Basically, like either probably the size of a small knife or dagger, or smaller than that.
Okay.
If you would like
still
it.
have my armor?
You have
Or just
they
my
have
armor?
you have leather armor, right?
Yeah.
They love that leather. You are probably in just kind of they would have taken your boots. You're probably in just kind of like breeches and bare-chested, bleeding from whips and cuts.
Okay.
So I would say that you could hold possibly a dagger or any other small item that you would like to have that would have been on your person.
All right.
Let me pull, I'll put up an image of him on screen so they know.
Okay. So he's very, very scrawny. Has grayish skin, dark hair that's really curly on top, that's kind of shaved on the sides, but it's like Vanta black. Like it like seems to absorb light that it hits, not that there is any light in here. He looks rather gaunt and sickly. And you notice as well his eyes are just straight up black. He doesn't have any pupils or irises or anything like that.
Awesome.
You see this figure pulled. He's resisting, but it looks like he's weak. From what you could tell, possibly hasn't been eating. You can't tell necessarily if this is a state of being in this place or otherwise. And he has chains on his, not necessarily manacles, but just kind of interlocked chains on his ankles and his wrists, as they're just kind of, and there's one on around his neck. They're kind of pulling him. There's about maybe 5 goblins that are pulling him. They're kind of putting him into this cell, overpowering him.
He's trying to fight back, and he's kind of muttering like, "I have gold. Do you guys want gold? I don't have gold. That's a lie. Come on. All right. And he moves on with them.
And they're basically separating his arms out, and they're taking one arm, and they're they're fixing it. They're kind of tying it around to one end of the cell and the other arm so that he's kind of up against the wall, kind of spread Christ-like. You are watching this all happen in, like, it's happening right now. So
There's only,
like,
how many goblins are there?
There's
5?
still 5 there, though.
There's 5.
I look at Temerity and Bubbles.
I don't like these goblins. They keep bullying the little dragon dudes, and now they're bullying this dude. Let's get him.
Why don't we wait until some of them are done with him, so there are fewer around?
But that one might leave with the key. For that one.
They're finishing affixing him to the side of the wall. They're exiting.
I rush in.
Let's do this.
I'm sorry, Bubbles is like, they're bullying him. Too bad.
Everybody roll initiative, including you, Felix.
Okay. What is the light like in here, by the way?
Non-existent.
I don't have dark vision.
I have Devil's Sight, so I can see.
So you can see, fine. Oh god, I love this one so much.
Yeah.
Okay. 13. Yep, and then... Ooh! Okay. So... Give me... your initiatives, please.
16 for Oz.
18 for Felix.
19 for Bubbles.
Okay.
Temerity got a 9, and Giz gets an 11.
Yes, Giz has been with you this whole time. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Aww,
He's just looking
poor
at
baby.
stuff. He's probably licking some rocks and like, I don't know.
Okay, so Giz has an 11.
Yeah.
Temerity has a 9.
Yeah.
And then Maverick, I'm so sorry, Lip, got a 7. I'm forgetting that you have like...
There's a lot of
like
people
good-
in this party.
You have a lot of you have a big group of people.
Yeah.
Okay. So... they are not technically surprised because they have been struggling. They have guards kind of at the ready in case Felix tried to do anything, so they are not surprised. So one of them notices you. This one looks actually a little bit more innate. There's actually little bits of metal and things on him. He notices you running, and he's actually going to immediately... He's gonna bolt. He points at some of the other goblins, and then at you, says a few things, you don't really know what, and then he runs off. And he's
He
going to
runs
dash
25. Okay, so 50.
50 feet, but he disappears into a passageway. You lose sight of him after about 10-15 feet. After that, let's see. My other ones are right. So, Bubbles.
Okay, I would like to rage.
Bonus action, raging.
Yep. Yeah. I can't see that guy, so I'm just going for the nearest one.
All right. There is one. He is not holding chains. It looks like he was kind of watching the door. He has sort of a little. He has a little shield made of again, kind of. It looks like the lid of a barrel, and sort of a basically a spear. You're going to charge him.
Yep. Going to reckless, please.
Okay.
It's a dirty 20.
That hits.
10 damage.
Okay. You cleave. It holds up the shield, but you actually get you get through it, you crack through it, and actually get into its shoulder. It screeches out in pain. It is still alive.
Okay.
Would you like to do any more movement? Or I would say you have maybe, what, do you have 25 as a halfling, or is it 30?
I get 35 later, but at the moment it's 25.
Okay, I would say that you only have 5 feet of movement left.
That's fine, I'll stay where I am.
Alright, so Felix, you're up next.
Maybe can I position myself to like block the end, like the exit that the first one, like if I were to like put my back to that?
No, it's further,
on the
it's
other
further
side.
away from you.
Gotcha, it's fine.
Well, it's just, it's further away.
It's fine.
You wouldn't be able to get there. Okay, so Felix, you see all of these goblins suddenly panic, and you look and see this very tiny, very buff, young halfling woman, totally just crack a battle axe into this goblin. But the one that you recognize as being sort of more in charge has gotten away. But it is your turn. This is your time that you've been waiting for.
Okay, so are there any goblins? Have I been put into the cell and have the cell closed?
The cell has not been closed. You have your arms have been kind of tied, so you have like pull, but if you were to say move up to the door, that's where the chains would stop. You have about a few feet of pull on. They didn't finish tightening them, if you get what I mean. So you have some
Do
pull.
I have reach to my britches?
You have you can kind of yes. Yeah, you would have because they've kind of let go of the chains with this sudden attack.
Okay, I'm gonna say that the small object that I took was just a single lockpick.
Okay.
My thieves' tools.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get are my chains locked or am I like tied?
They're tied, and then there is sort of a little lock at one end. So like you can't like go over and do the opposite hand. You could kind of get it, and you can sort of try and do it one-handed, and try and get one side free.
I'm gonna try.
So that will be a thieves' tools check at disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, that was one of them was a nat 20. So that will be 10 plus 4 plus 2, so 16.
Oh, okay. So you almost drop it because you're kind of panicking. You're like looking at what's going on, and you kind of just angle it with your thumb, and you get that lock off, and now it's just a matter of trying to like unravel that chain. That is your action.
Okay. So I'm gonna get kind of out of the chains, and I'm gonna kind of go to the edge of the cage area to just see what's going on. Do I know where they took my things?
Probably. It would be you're focusing more on surviving right now.
Yeah.
But you have
I'm just kind of trying to gauge. I'm gonna kind of duck to the side and try and like hide from view so that goblins can't see me trying to leave. But I want to kind of gauge if I have an escape route, sort of, that's away from the action.
Are you doing a cunning action hide?
Yes.
Okay. There technically isn't anything to the cells are open slots, so there isn't anything to remove line of sight. They have dark vision, so
I'll just kind of stay in the cage and just
you'll hunker.
Yeah. That'll be my turn for now.
Oz.
Alrighty, so I really want to silence the one that ran off. He went 50 feet at most. And
he was already about 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
When he
so
started.
It's a really big area.
This is a long sort of hallway with all the cells on one side.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I want to try to... yeah, I guess I probably won't make it to him, so I will... There's 4 of them?
Yes.
Is there 2 on Bubbles, 1 on Bubbles? Where are they in the room?
There were two kind of watching the door to the cell. They were about to close it.
Okay.
And then there were two that were in the cell fixing. Well, there were two on the sides of the cell. They'd kind of taken his change through the bars, and they were fixing it to one side. So if you imagine them as kind of like cubes, you know, there's two on the side of the cube, and there's two at the front of it.
Okay,
one on either side.
Okay, I'm going to go to the one on the farther end that you said is closer to the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna get one of those. Let's see. With a and I thought of this recently. I was like, I wouldn't say Eldritch Blast. I'd say Eldritch Blast, and I'd say it would be a what is that? 14.
So you let loose, but you can see Bubbles kind of struggling with this goblin getting her act, and she kind of gets in the way. So you kind of shit, and you move it.
14 doesn't hit. Okay.
14 does not hit these goblins. They all have shields.
That's my turn.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No.
The goblins are now going to act. The one that just dodged. The one that just dodged the Eldritch Blast is going to also engage with Bubbles, and is now going to try and it is actually going to with these spears, they have a little bit more reach, so he kind of gets around the side of his buddy, and is going to
something really good just happened.
Good news, and she's like happy crying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's.
I'm finally getting a payout for my car accident, and it's something I've been waiting for like 2 or 3 years, and I'm like, fucking finally, I needed this so bad. Oh,
and it's a chunk of change.
Kristy.
It is.
So proud.
I'm not saying the chronic pain is worth it, but at least, fucking finally, I can pay my bills, guys. Anyway, sorry. Hit me, Daddy, hit me.
This is really awkward. This is really awkward because I'm about to stab you, but
stab me, baby. I'm fine. Hit me. I need the money.
It's amazing.
I rolled with advantage, and I had a 1 and a 5, so that's a 9 to hit.
No.
That is not.
Bubbles is making his
going
money
to hit.
moves.
The one that engaged with you is going to use its nimble escape to take the disengage so that it does not incur an attack of opportunity. It's going to back up, and it is going to try and poke you with its spear as well. Again, at advantage, I rolled a 6 and a 7. I don't know why I'm plus 4, so 11 at the most.
No. I have a low AC. It's not hard to hit me.
Apparently it is.
Apparently. I think it's just... the karma gods are liking me right this second.
Seeing you starting to escape, Felix, one of these goblins is going to stab his spear through the bars at you.
Finger balloons.
There we go, 19 to hit. You're not wearing your armor.
No.
So
My AC is still 14 without my armor.
It's pretty good.
Alright.
6 piercing damage as it catches you in the back. And then the last goblin is going to move up with his shield and kind of the spear out, and kind of try to just... The two that are engaging with Bubbles and then this one are kind of trying to block off this hallway so that you cannot get to the door where the one ran off to. And he is going to just take the dodge action. He's kind of prepared with his spear. That is all the goblins. It is now Giz's turn, which is
Okay, so
Victoria.
So Oh, does Giz have? I don't think Giz has dark vision, does he? Isn't that like the weird thing that he like doesn't have?
He is a lizard folk.
He does not.
Okay.
Bite, cunning artisan, hold breath, hunter's lore. Yeah, he
Nope.
wouldn't have. He wouldn't
He
have
does not.
seen. So he wouldn't have seen that one run off.
No.
Oh, that really sucks.
He's just kind of like, what is going on? Are we fighting? It sounds like we're fighting.
Just kill the goblins, Giz.
Where? Where are the goblins? I can't smell them.
Alright, he'll walk forward, and he's gonna shillelagh his spear, and he's gonna poke one with a spear.
He's going to poke where he thinks one is.
Well, he's gonna like go up to where he saw Bubbles like run off.
He couldn't really see. It is pitch black in here.
Okay.
He's going. Basically, I would say he's going off of smell and sound. And I mean, he's basically blinded. He can make an attack at disadvantage.
Do it.
All right. Oh, no. You know what he's gonna do? No, I shouldn't. I don't want to use his spells right now. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to use his spell slots. Fuck it. He's gonna shillelagh, and then attempt to stab. Okay. It's a natural 13 and a natural 19. So with a natural 13, his attack bonus.
I think Shillelagh, does Shillelagh let you add anything to the 2-hit, or is it just a damage?
It's just the damage die, and it becomes magical. But he has a +6 to hit, so that's a 13 plus 6 is 19. How does that hit? That seems crazy to me.
That will hit. I'm going to roll a d6 to see which one he hits, because they're both staying side by side. Okay. Roll his damage.
Okay. He gets a d8. Or... yeah.
And then you add, I think, your wisdom modifier to the damage.
Yeah, it's a 1d8 plus 4.
Oh, God.
Where's the d8? This is the d8, the little diamond. It's a 3 plus 4 is 7. Magical stabbing.
Okay. Okay. He connects with something crunchy and goblin-y.
Like, well, you smell like a very good snack for later. I don't know.
Oh, it's cute.
That's
So
very
good.
good. And now, Temerity.
Nice, now it's my turn. Cool, I have dark vision, so I saw that little fucker run off.
Yes, he was 30 feet away. He dashed.
50.
So he is approximately 80
He is
feet
25. No, he's 25 feet because he's a goblin. And then
But he dashed, so 50, and he was already 30 feet away, so he's 80.
80. Okay.
Okay.
From where you are.
And then the other goblins are trying to like block the way. How far away am I from those goblins?
About 30 feet.
Alright, I'm gonna get up in their grill.
Okay.
Tasty.
So is there no way for me to get up where they are without being in melee range of them?
I mean,
they're blocking the hallway that he ran down?
yeah, they're blocking the hallway. You'd have to stop behind bubbles if you don't want to be in melee range. I mean, they're doing like a little phalanx shield wall and stabbing.
Okay, yeah, I'll kind of so if I get behind Bubbles, I'm out of melee range with them and he's 55 feet away. At that point?
Yes, obviously you don't necessarily know for sure he's exactly 55
But I have
feet away,
60-foot
but-
dark vision.
Yes, but he's down so he's not down a tunnel straight. He went down the side, so you won't be able to see him.
Balls. All right.
That's yeah. I was like, I would have gone after and tried to get past if I know. If
Yeah,
we
he
could
didn't. He didn't just run straight down. He kind
Yeah,
of
he
curved.
said it's
He,
a curve,
curved
so
off.
there's
he
not
turned away.
really
He turned in.
any way to go get him.
Okay.
Not right now.
All right.
He rolled a natural. That one rolled. I did a separate roll. I did all of these goblins on one initiative, and he got his own. He got a natural 20. So
If we bash through these fuckers, we could
Yeah.
chase after him.
All right. I'm going to hurt these boys. Equipment. hand axe. I'm going to shocking grasp one of the boys or
Yeah,
people.
metal.
I don't know their goblin genders. I'm going to shocking grasp them.
Fair.
So, for that,
There is one on the left, which is the one that Bubbles hit, and there's the one on the right, which
Oz tried to hit.
which gives and that gives
Giz bit.
gives clump.
one of the ones with the shields.
They all have shields.
Okay, just if there's one that has a shield that hasn't been hit yet.
That would be the one that you can get to for a melee attack.
Yeah.
Would be the one that took the dodge action. He's ready for it. He hasn't been hit yet.
Okay.
And then there's the one that stabbed. You can't get to him in melee, but there's the one that stabbed Felix through the bars. He's all the way at the back.
Okay, I'm gonna try shocking grasp the one that dodged.
Okay. Melee spell attack at disadvantage.
Okay, that's a natural 13, and that's a natural 18. So my attack on a shocking grasp, is it just a straight roll? No, melee spell attack.
Yeah, so you add your spell ability modifier.
So that's a 19.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so what you would see is Temerity kind of walks up, and I just want to like grab the goblin on its head with my metal arm, and I kind of hit like a button on the side, and you watch as like it begins overcharging with electricity that just flows into, it explodes into the goblin's head. And I'm gonna roll the damage. Okay.
Alright.
Sorry,
Go
I'm really
for it.
excited.
I can see.
Flavorful.
Wait, is he wearing metal? He's not wearing metal, is he? The other guy was wearing metal.
They are not. No.
But
Okay,
they have
takes-
spears in their hands, right? And shields
Yeah,
in
but
their hands?
Yeah, it has to
But
be
he's-
metal armor.
Yeah.
The-
And
it can't be
technically
a shield.
technically
That's not
the
armor?
shields are wooden.
Oh.
Like grounding.
They're
It
wooden.
has to be full metal armor.
They're wooden.
okay,
They're
so
not they're not in plate.
He takes 5 lightning damage, and he can't take reactions until
Okay.
the start of his next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that your turn, Temerity?
I don't think I can really do all that much else. That's an action. I don't really have any bonus actions. I moved. So, I'm good.
Right off the
Alright.
bottom layer of my eyeliner.
Okay. And then next is Maverick. If are you just gonna
Does
do
Maverick have dark vision?
Maverick does not. I do not believe so. He's a.
He's
We're
got-
technically.
He's got
he's a.
keen senses for smell
Yeah.
and hearing, but not.
He
not
does not
sight.
have dark vision.
Yeah.
Can we be stick a Maverick and just yeet him off down the tunnel?
Maverick is. You are collectively in charge of Maverick for combat.
Just yeet him over them. Just toss him over Temerity, over the little fey line, and have him sprint, step of the wind down that fucking path and
Yeah,
stun
but
that
key
guy.
point, step of the wind, and then run,
Key point,
and
stun.
then if he needs to take the dash action to get up and block the tunnel if he sees the guy. But we're just gonna be
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
there's someone down there, get him.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check to get him over the phalanx wall.
Kristy,
This
you
is
do
super
it.
cool.
Kristy, you're feeling lucky.
I am
Bubbles,
feeling
yeah.
so lucky today.
He's definitely proficient in acrobatics, so we'll give him a +5. His dexterity and proficiency. Don't forget to add your proficiency.
Oh wait,
bonus.
his dex is +6. Oh! Well, no, it's a +4, but a +2 for.
So 6.
Okay, yeah, okay, there you go. So we were giving him a +3, so
16 plus 6.
22.
yeah. Okay, so he runs full sprint
He does a
towards
friggin' cartwheel.
these goblins. They put their shields up, expecting him to attack, which is exactly what he wants. He steps onto the shield and uses it as a kip up. Front flips over. So with his step of the wind, that gives him another 10 feet.
No, it's another dash.
Step of the wind
He
is
takes
like a
dash,
double.
dash bonus action,
Okay.
so he gets
Okay,
30 and
so-
then another 30.
So 60 feet.
So
And then
if
he can take the dash action.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
so
So you can
he
really
will
get in
be-
front of the guy.
Yeah, so 30 after the step of the wind, he turns down the tunnel. He can see him running. It's running towards the open
Can he do it for?
But there's a tunnel.
Use his movement bonus action to step in the wind, dash, and then his action is dash. So he goes 90 feet to get in front of him and just be like,
yeah, like block his.
And kind of.
He gets like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Goblins are small creatures.
He's small too, though.
He counts as a medium creature.
Technically medium.
Oh.
He's a little
Mechanics.
Mechanics-wise he's medium, but he's a small medium.
Yeah. So like technically rules as written, he wouldn't be able to move through the space, but this is super cool. So of course, yes, he's going to shove. He's going to shove past him and try to block.
Okay.
The way.
Yay! Yay!
That is going to bring.
Fast boy monk.
That is going to bring us to the leader.
Oh my god!
You can see him kind of rubbing. Maverick can see him kind of rubbing this little pearl, this little bead on a necklace as it is wondering what to do. It's going to back up. If he would like to take an attack of opportunity, he may.
Yes, he will. Punch him in the fucking face.
Roll to hit.
Oh, can I roll the d4?
13 plus whatever.
6.
Plus
So
6.
19. 19.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So you can
Roll that
damage.
d4.
It's so spiky. A 2. Plus
3.
what? Yeah.
So
5.
5. Okay. So he connects with this goblin, but the goblin steps back a little bit, reaches for what looks to be a little carved horn on its belt.
No.
No! Why did that motherfucker do that before? Fucking ass.
Echoes out.
No.
But that is going to be its turn.
I didn't want to shoot him because it would have been loud. Poop.
And Bubbles.
It's 1d4 plus 4. What do we add?
I mean, it
you
still
just
would have
add
been
his
6 damage as opposed to 5.
Got it.
That is correct. Every point counts.
Is the guy that I hit the first time still standing?
Yes.
Okay, I'll hit him again.
Ball guy.
Okay.
Actually, so he stepped back because these spears have reach. You will have to move forward,
Oh.
just so you know.
Okay.
Get in his
So
grill.
you take a step forward.
Yep. So that is... I don't know if it'll hit. 13 to hit.
Mm-mm.
Does not hit.
Okay.
This time catches you with a more flat side of the shield, and it sticks in. Does not go through. These goblins are more serious than the ones that you fought before.
Okay. That's it.
Would you like to do? Okay. Felix.
All right, is that guy that just stabbed me still right there?
He's behind you through the bars.
Okay.
He stabbed you through the bars.
I'd like to attempt to disarm him if I can.
Sure. Give me a contested athletics check to try and pull the spear away, out of his hands.
Uh, 16.
Yeah, it rolled a 3.
Okay.
So you kind of get stabbed, and as it starts to pull it back, you kind of no, you don't, and you yank it. You actually kind of smush the goblin's face against the bar, and you get the spear away. That is your action.
Yep, I'm gonna keep it in my hand.
Okay.
I'm proficient with it.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm in the cage still,
Yes.
and I can't see a damn thing.
No, you're just hearing a lot of stuff. You hear that horn. you know that that's bad.
Oh, yeah, so he goes, oh, crap.
You actually saw a little bit of blue glow, like electricity, lit up for just a moment. You can see that there's a lot of people here suddenly.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action disengage. And
Okay.
attempt to move out of the cage, kind of like along the wall. That's like my only point of reference.
Okay. You're kind of feeling the bars. You get to where the door is. Your other arm.
Oh, crap. Right, okay.
That's not all of your movement.
I'll go back.
You go back.
I'll wait.
Okay.
It feels like kind of a dumbass.
Not telling Gallant about that one.
Filing this away. We never speak about it.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Oz.
Alrighty, I'm going to swear an abyssal to hex. I'm going to hex the fourth one hasn't been damaged, right?
The one that stabbed, yeah, that one has not been damaged at all.
I will hex that boy, and
Okay.
I will cast Eldritch Blast on it. That is a 15?
That will just hit.
Oh, thank God, thank God. Alrighty.
Roll your Eldritch Blast.
My Eldritch Blast will be... Ooh! Very good. Okay, so that is 11 plus my 15 points of damage.
How do you one-shot this goblin?
Ooh, I can...
You have your mirror.
I'll lift my mirror and... Let's see. I'll say... Oh, I needed to just let off a little bit. Will you mind helping me? I say into the mirror. Hopefully hear maybe a giggle or something. Oh, thank you. And I like kind of like move my hair around and like just out the back, very nonchalant.
You see this beam of magical energy, Felix. And actually at this time, it almost seems to start to split, and you see almost like a spectral hand as the fingers just pierce through the throat, and it gurgles and sputters behind you and falls to the ground, and you're
looks, like... Yeah, it looks like my character's taking a selfie with this handheld mirror, but it's like... But Eldritch Blast comes out and just goes that way, yeah.
But yeah, so you hope that wasn't at you. You really have no idea.
Yeah, he's
but
like...
it hit the goblin. It is now the remaining goblins. Let's see. They are going to... One is going to swing around behind Bubbles, so you have one kind of in front of you and one behind, because you have one with your axe still in. It doesn't break... It doesn't break melee with you.
Okay.
It is going to attack you. You are flanked, so it will attack with advantage.
Well, it already had advantage, but yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Hit me, daddy.
She has money to get it fixed up.
You can tell Kristy don't give a fuck
And that
right
is-
now.
And that is a max on the damage dice. That'll be 14 piercing damage reduced to 7 because you're raising.
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 I'm raising, baby.
I finally hit Bubbles. I try and hit Bubbles so often.
I'm proud of you. That was a good hit.
Thank you. The other one is going to swivel around to your side, which does create an opening to that doorway, but it's going to stab Temerity in the back. Flanked. So with advantage. Roll again just to see if I... Okay, so that's a 2 and then a 16. So that'll be a dirty 20. 7 piercing damage into your back.
Owie.
Ouchie!
and then the goblin will actually, after making the attack, do the rest of its movement to actually circle back around with its shield and get in front of you again, Bubbles. So it's kind of like holding your axe in, and it sort of came around the side, stabbed Temerity, and then like got back in front of you. These actually seem, they're like trained. These are not just raiding goblins. And then the last goblin, which Temerity lovingly shocking grasped, will attack you. You are no longer flanked because the other one moved back. And it rolled a natural 1.
Haha, get fucked.
So with its brain kind of fried, it and you're like, really? Wow.
I like to imagine that I still have my grasp on its head, and it's like a little kid when you do that, and they're trying to like run at you.
Yeah. But it will use its bonus action to nimble escape.
Oh, you.
Just to create the disengage action, and it'll take a step back and hold the spear out, trying to use the reach to keep you blocked in. Honestly, they don't really seem like they're trying to kill you. It looks like they're buying time.
Magic.
Alright. So next is Giz.
Okay, I have like a whole set of things that we're gonna do here. Giz is gonna, he's just gonna like go up to the one that he was already at, and he's gonna stab it again for his action. With his shillelagh
Disadvantage.
thing. Wait, why?
He can't see.
Oh yeah, he's blind as a bat. Okay, that's a natural 17 and a natural 7, so he's not gonna hit. That's like 7 plus like, yeah, no, that's like 10.
That does not hit.
Okay, and then he's
Connect to the wall.
Then he's going to use his Hungry Jaws feature for a bonus action.
Ooh.
And he is going to make a bite attack against that guy, I guess. I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's very
Use
good
that
character
bonus
for him to eat.
Use that bonus action attack.
I mean,
Just don't know
normally,
it's
Yeah,
first
he's like,
into
I'll
it.
just fucking eat him.
Disadvantage.
yeah, he gets another. Okay, that's a natural 13, a natural 19, 14. So that's a 16 for a bite.
That will hit.
Hap.
Okay, that's 1d6 plus 1. 5 plus 1, that's 6!
That'll do it.
Oh, he's gonna just bite into its neck, I don't know.
Is he just like having a snack?
Yeah, he's having a
Yeah, and if he had lower health, he would be up 4 health from doing that.
So he swings wide and waits to hear it
it's 4 temporary HP.
dodge. And
He's
then he
all-
connects
Yeah, he's all
with
like,
his jaw.
So he does go up
And then
4 for temporary.
Yeah,
Gains
it's
4
not
temporary.
it's not 4 heal, it's 4 temporary HP. That's really cool.
I imagine he's like,
It's a very interesting
I
ratio.
like this one's gizzard. Or something weird. He just comments on the taste or something.
It's sweeter when I can't see.
Yeah, exactly. I also got Dark One's blessing when I killed that thing, by the way, so I have 6 temporary hit points as well.
Excellent. Actually, I think is it. Do you? Oh yeah, it's temporary hit points, not healing.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of Hexblade's curse gives healing.
Mhm.
Heals. And you just did Hex. Okay.
It's this Dark One.
Temerity.
Well, I guess there's no point in being quiet now. And okay, are they not? Wait, did they all get out of range with me because of their little spears and shields?
They are out of melee range.
Okay, I'm gonna take my
They don't know that
arm.
They don't know that you have this.
I'm gonna take my arm. And I'm gonna shoot one in the head.
Okay.
The one that stabbed me. Fuck that
Okay.
guy. Okay, I'm gonna stab him or shoot him.
Revenge will be edge.
Oh, natural 19.
Yep.
Okay. And that is a D8.
Plus dexterity.
I feel like this one will scare Felix the most, more than the weird mirror and more than the axe halfling.
Wait, so it's plus my dex?
It is a ranged weapon. Yeah.
Okay, that's a 7. Piercing.
7 damage.
Mm-hmm.
It had 7 HP left.
Perfect.
Might fuck around and kill a goblin.
So it's all ready for you to move in, and so you kind of just you let go of its head. You already have the fingers outstretched, so you just clench the fist, and the bullet fires out of the knuckle and creates a really nice painting on the wall behind it. It echoes in this whole space. I'm actually going to say, in this sort of environment, can everyone make Constitution saving throws?
It's loud.
Sorry, y'all. Oh my god, I can't get her out of here.
10?
Yes.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
Okay. Con save. Oh, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 for temerity. And 13. No. 12 for Giz.
Okay.
What about Felix?
12. I was muted.
Okay. Everyone that was under a 14
That's
is
everybody. Basically.
deafened.
Okay.
Super.
That was not damaged, so I will say you maintain concentration on Hex. Because you can still move it to a new target.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, you're focused, but you can't hear now.
Love that.
Actually, wait, did you roll for Maverick?
Maverick's not there.
Maverick's not there, he's down.
This is echoing.
Oh, okay, I'll roll.
It's a gunshot in a cavern.
I'll make a face like this to Verity. I'll go,
Well, what?
and I like him.
I'll give
super,
him
like-
I'll give Maverick advantage.
Okay, hang on.
give us much salt.
I'll do the goblins too. I mean, they're here. The goblins are
Yeah.
deafened.
What about
The goblins are deafened.
Goblins are
Cool.
fucked.
Better
Oh, he got a 14 with advantage.
fuckers.
Meets it.
Yeah, he seems.
Okay, which is good because it is now his turn. So since he is not deafened, he hears a horn answer the call, and he hears a lot of movement behind him further down that tunnel.
Would Bubbles hear that too? She saved.
I did save.
I would say yes.
Shit.
You kind of through your rage, you're always having a ringing in your ear, but you heard that war horn.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think we should just have Maverick like maybe he'll take out his staff and he'll bonk the goblin boss, and then he'll should we have him should we have him run back to us, or should we have him bonus action punch and then run back to us and possibly kill the goblin boss and be able to run?
Maybe do that.
I would say he's panicking right now. This is really scary, so act with that in mind.
I feel like Maverick's bite when put into a corner. I don't know. Maybe he's around.
No, he's got his staff. He's gonna.
Yeah.
He's gonna hit and run. He's gonna
Hit and run.
like a little push with the butt of it and run off.
Yeah.
He's going to run off towards you, or
Back to
Yeah.
us.
Back to us.
okay.
Because
So
he's
going
alone
to-
and he's scared that he's alone.
So he's doing a shove action, or is he attacking?
He's
He's gonna
attacking
attack.
It's like an attack, but
I
for
rolled a
just
17
the
to
flavor.
hit.
He's like,
with all of his mods.
Does not hit. This
Oh, then
goblin
he's-
is wearing a little breastplate. He comes in with the staff and he just connects with metal.
Wait, 17 doesn't hit?
No.
oh my
Oh.
god. So yeah, then he'll just bonus action.
You guys have +6s and stuff. I had to.
Yeah, he rolled 11
I had to buff
plus.
some
Yeah,
stuff.
he rolled 11 plus 6. So
So should we have him bonus action disengage and then run, or should we risk the attack of opportunity and dash?
Let's
How many
get
key
him
points
the
does
fuck
he have?
out.
He only has 2.
He has
Okay.
one
Let's-
per level, so you've used 1 for Step of the Wind. He has
Let's
one
risk getting him back here for the hit, because he hasn't been damaged, has he?
No.
No, he's
He's
at
good.
full health.
Let's risk it. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna dash.
He'll dash run. He'll like movement and then dash.
So he can get an
Okay.
opportunity attack against him.
Okay. It will take it.
His AC's 15.
That's a 15, an 11 plus 4
No, Maverick, please.
with a scimitar. 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
He run.
All right.
Who's next?
He runs. The goblin. It is now that one's turn. It is not going to pursue Maverick. It is going to continue its movement down that tunnel. It is at this point. It is midnight. We're going to take our break real quick. We're going to collect our thoughts so these guys can get a drink and think about what their next move is.
Think about what they've done.
So we
Okay.
will BRB in about 5 to 7 minutes ish.
Ish.
Okay. BRB, guys.
Hello, everyone. We left right in the middle of a bad situation. We are still in initiative, so I'm just going to take us right to it. Bubbles,
Yeah.
it is your turn. You see Maverick running back into the room, and you hear him just, whoo, whoo, bad, very bad. We're running, it's bad.
Hit. Ooh, that was a crazy roll. That's an 18 that hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. 11 damage.
That'll be enough. How do you want to do this? right at the start.
Take off another head.
All right, we have another decapitation for you. Here, we're gonna just go right to, because this is gonna still give the tension. Okay. We do another clean decapitation. I would say you're technically, I'm still gonna have you operating kind of in initiative just so that everyone has a chance to do something, but you are not in combat, so you do not necessarily have to go with the general action, bonus action, and whatnot. Jasper is making his way into the room where he has been hiding, and he's going to go, I think that sound means it's time to go. Felix.
Okay, so I went back. I'd like to unlock my other arm.
It is, you still can't see, so another Thieves' Tools
And I
check
also
it.
can't hear, so I'm just like...
And you can't hear, so you're kind of really just feeling this. You're like, I don't know what's going on. The ringing is fading. I would say after Felix's turn, anyone that was deafened, your hearing is returning.
Okay. So, Thieves' Tools check. 16 again.
That's enough. So other chain off. You are freed.
So he's like, got it. Do what I was attempting to do before and kind of like go along the wall a little
Yeah,
bit.
you are feeling out. Your feet are hitting goblin bodies, and you are starting to hear all of these people. You hear, ooh, ooh, ooh. There is a door. It could buy us time. Someone, Bubbles,
Yeah.
help, please.
Okay.
And he's feeling his way. You're hearing all of these people talking. You're hearing stuff shuffling around.
I'm still raging, so I'm gonna rage shut the door.
All right. This is it is a big kind of old wooden door. With the two of you, you don't need to do a check for it. It's enough. You get it shut. But there is no like bolt or locking mechanism on it that you see. What's Temerity doing? Giz is eating. Are we
Giz
going?
is probably eating and like, I cannot see anything. What is going on? And then, do I see this scantily clad man?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. You see
And
this
he's like-
very.
Like he can't see what's going on. He's like,
Hello.
he's got like a spear in his hand, and he's like,
This is one of the more pathetic things I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna
also
grab.
can see it's just like,
I'm gonna go in and be like, "Do you want to live?
and he jumps. Yeah.
Come with me." I'm gonna grab his arm and
All right.
start yanking him.
You're starting to hear the clattering. You're hearing chains, metal. You're hearing this kind of uproar. It's if you remember in like original Lord of the Rings when they're in the mines of Moria and you're just hearing it from all angles. You're in the mines of Moria right now. You have Bubbles. You and Maverick have this door closed, but there isn't a lock. There is so. And Maverick Maverick can't see.
Can I move that box that we came from in front of the door?
That's all.
It's way back.
Oh.
We did like a little time skip of you like sneaking around and getting past people. You've
Okay.
made your way further down, so that's way.
Okay.
There are various things in here. I mean, if you would like to take the time to perceive the room, you can either perceive, get a quick glance, but you're all kind of panicking, or you can take the extra time to start looking around to get your bearings. There is the tunnel that you've just shut the door to. There's where you came from, and it looks like there is a tunnel at the far end of this hallway that you have no idea where it goes to. That's what you got the gist of, kind of scanning the battlefield, people with dark vision. But you are on basically a time crunch. Actually, I think I'll set a timer for you.
Are we still in initiative?
You're not in initiative. I just
not like battle, but an order of.
I just wanted to, but I mean, you can sort of it. I just wanted to make sure everyone got one more thing to do. What's Oz doing? Also?
How much does everyone want this money? Are we going in or going out?
I don't care.
Fuck it.
That is not an answer, either of you.
Let's go.
Like I said,
Go
there's always
where?
more money. There's only one of me.
Up
We
and
know
out.
one exit.
Up and out.
But
Let's go.
all right.
Let's get the lizard.
I
Let's get Maverick. I have no idea what the fuck this is.
Wait. I slap the throat out of Giz's mouth, and I go, come on. And I grab him. I just slap it bloodily.
All right. Gideon, these seem like these are not goblins. They are speaking in common. You are being grabbed again. You are being pulled. You're moving in the darkness.
I'm gonna whisper. It's alright.
Did I?
Yeah.
Fine.
What?
What is this?
That's another one of
It's a
Chel's
different character. You call me the wrong character name.
characters. Felix.
Was there anything around that I could have pushed in front of the door, like haphazardly, like something, an extra berry that I could push while the rest of them are running?
I would say if you, without taking extra time to look around, you could take one of the spears. They're not the hardiest thing, but you could kind of shove it in the. You could bar the door.
I will do that.
Okay. That will give you a little bit more time. So you're making your way through. You're making your way back up. I'm going to say you were following Felix's voice before. I would say, who is it? Give me a marching order.
I'm last because I barred the door.
I think Temerity
Okay.
and I were first.
Yeah, it was probably like me,
Danica, you're
Jasper. Oh.
Danica, you're still muted.
I'll go first because I can see 120 feet ahead of us.
Perfect. Okay, so it's kind of you're going in pairs. So you and Giz, and then Temerity and Oz.
And Felix.
And God,
Jasper's probably in with us.
Yeah. Jasper's kind of mixed in.
Because he wanted to get out.
Oz, Giz, Temerity, Felix, Jasper, and then Maverick and Bubbles.
Because Maverick needs Bubbles to see, because Bubbles can see, right?
No.
Yes.
Not anymore.
Oh, that's right. I should have been giving you disadvantage on your attacks, Missy.
But I'm reckless, so it would have been a straight roll instead of advantage.
Fair enough. I gotta remember that you don't have it anymore.
I
Sorry,
forget
your
too.
backline
It's my
can't see.
fault because I'm used to her having dark vision too.
Okay, this changes.
Jasper will back off and help you guys. So he's kind of in the middle, and he'll
Okay.
pull you along, and you pull Maverick.
Okay.
So you're
That's a
kind of
cute
moving.
image.
Oz,
Holding hands.
you give me so you're kind of going to chain. Oz, you give me a survival check to see if you can kind of remember the turns and stuff you took.
10.
Okay, you start going down one way.
Follow me in my special eyes.
You pull, you go right, and you turn 3 goblins. And they're running, and they're running at you.
We go left then.
Okay. You go left. I will say that everyone kind of getting mixed around. These are all. This is going to be like combat mixed in with chasing. So we're not gonna like fully do it out. But I would say that someone in the middle would probably, as I'm trying to get my music back for the drama, overly talking. I would say, let's see. This would probably actually be at Jasper. Jasper would probably catch it. Natural 20.
God. We're about to... Someone grab his treasure when he dies, okay?
8, 9, 10. He's not dead. But he kind of gets speared. Ah! Alright. Go. He is not looking good. He's still pulling Bubbles and Maverick along, but he is considerably probably slowed from the injuries.
Can as a reaction to that, can Maverick and Bubbles like take some retribution shots on that guy?
Yeah, if you want, you can either run or attack. Yeah, this is basically like we're intermixing combat with.
Run.
Fuck him up.
Run.
21.
Yeah, that'll hit.
12 damage.
Another drive-by decapitation. He catches the spear. Bubbles, you just kind of, while running, actually, you spin it around this time to change it up. You use the maul end of your ham axe. You cave that one in. Another one goes to take a swipe at Maverick and rolls a 12.
No.
Does not hit him. You continue making your way back up. Oz, you go, okay, give me another survival check.
Oh, that's better. 15.
All right, this time you remember, and as you go up, you do see one goblin off in the distance. It starts to try and take a short out.
Can I do something? I
Yeah.
have things for this. Oh, but I don't have returning. I don't have returning dagger, but I can still Eldritch Blast him.
All right.
Which I will do.
While you're running, yep,
Yes, that's a 15.
that hits.
Okay.
Blast him.
Blast him. That is 9 points of damage. 9.
This you see it try to raise the bow, and you just. It's almost like you're doing like ping pong, like table tennis. You swing out with the Eldritch Blast, and it connects, and it just blasts a whole side out of its torso. It falls down. Felix, you hear something go whizzing by you. We're gonna see. That is a natural 3, so 7.
Doesn't it?
You kind of just those roguish instincts sort of sink in, and you feel as you're kind of going through a tunnel, you feel a dagger stick into the wall, and you actually kind of go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I grab it.
And we keep moving.
If I see that, I nudge Bubbles if I see, or who's next to me? I nudge Giz if I see that. So I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, that's right, you're blind, honey.
So you can hear more and more now. You can actually hear. You hear that spear snap.
Oh shit.
And you hear way behind you, but you're making good time.
Okay.
You come around.
Shit.
Come around. You're in one of these larger, kind of more cleaner rooms, and it's a long, wide hallway, and you can see some of them. They're literally like crawling out of holes in the wall, as they're starting to mass. Like again in the Mines of Moria. I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw, because you snuck through this area before, but now you're running.
20 for me.
Nat 20, so 26.
Jesus.
What is a 6?
Okay.
Giz got an 8.
15.
Okay.
Oh, he got a 9, sorry.
Okay, so at the front, Giz and Oz, you both, you're kind of walking on these tiled floors, and you both happen to step on tiles that sink, and you hear clicks. And you can see those grooves that have been in all of these walls, those thin slits. Now you hear zzz, and these blades.
Is it still dark?
It's
Okay.
still. It's
Okay.
well, actually, you're passing by little bits of torchlight. You're higher up now,
Mm.
so
can
I
see?
would say dim light. Yes.
Can I like, since I saved so high, can I like use a reaction to try to, I don't know, grab one of them and like get them out of the way?
Sure. Yeah.
Whoever's closest to me.
Let's see.
Save. Well, Giz has a lot of health, so maybe the wimpy spellcaster.
Okay, go. You can.
I have temporary hit points.
How? So, what are you trying to just forcibly move them out of the way, or how would
Like,
you do this?
You
these
said it's
blades?
like blades in the wall that are coming out horizontally?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe, I mean, just basically scruff them and pull them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check.
Okay. Oh, that's
You just
not
gotta kind of
Uh,
at
you mean-
advantage.
I have a +0. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, at advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you're kind of gonna use his momentum.
Yeah. 14?
Yeah, that's enough. So
Okay.
you, Oz, you don't even register this whirring blade kind of comes out and you just feel a shove from your back. But instead of going into it, he kind of pushes you on your back and you somersault. It would be a cool acrobatics thing, but you totally didn't intend to do it. And you kind of roll under that saw blade. And you can see then also in the grooves of the floor more saw blades. They come up vertically and now they're moving on tracks. And you can see, actually, this caught some of the goblins.
Nice. I really
Fail.
like you.
Indiana Jones cave system.
Fail,
This
that's
is
2
fun.
6s. That one's fine. That one's fine. Okay, that's my timer, but you're already making great progress. Okay, so you see actually a good chunk of the goblins get off. And as others are starting to try and take either sling or shortbow shots at you, those workers, those kobolds that you saw, one of you actually just sees one take its pickaxe and just go get the goblin in the back of the head.
Yes, workers rise up.
Are
unite.
the workers chained in any way or like kind of like tied up in any way?
Some are,
Can
some
I
are
try
not.
and like as I'm running try and free one?
Yeah, sure.
'Cause,
You
like
want
they're
to just like
bullying
try and
them
cut
and
a
Bubbles
rope?
didn't want them to
You're at
bully
the
them.
back.
Go for it.
I'm sorry, this is Bubbles. She can't do it. She can't do it. Okay.
I mean, but no, probably wouldn't.
19 plus 5.
All right. So as you see this one goblin trying to kind of it's fighting off with its spear some of the workers that are starting to get rambunctious. As you run by, as you're kind of like, oops, saw blade, and go, excuse me, and you cut the ropes free, and then you just see these 3 kobolds just totally jump this goblin. They're just
And I'm
beating the
draconic. I say, don't let them bully you anymore.
And you, as that echoes out, you can actually see. Make a persuasion check at advantage.
Hell yeah!
We need the Benny Hill theme.
I cannot because of I think copyright issues.
Natural 20 plus 4.
As Bubbles
That's just
cries out
simultaneously
in
created the kobold
cries out in
anarchist
Draconic. These you see kobolds
She's
that
gathered
were
a following already.
that were kind of just cowering. They kind of like it. They hear it in their own tongue, and you can see more and more actually are rising up, forcing this mob of kobolds even further and further behind you.
I'm so happy.
What
As-
color were these kobolds? I'm curious. Were they Tiamat or Bahamut?
Who cares?
These are probably it's hard to tell. Looks like maybe they could be like copper or brass.
Aww, cute.
I love them so
you're-
much. I
you're-
want to adopt
you-
them all.
You're making your way higher and higher, and what you see approach in between you all. Checks my time. You see a figure step into the doorway, standing in between you and that smith's room. Hold on, as I'm trying to make sure I have the right thing here. Is this the right thing that I want? Yes. Holding a large longsword, more uniform armor. This figure steps out in front of you. Reddish skin, pointed ears, crying out in goblinoid. It stands in the way of you and freedom. Roll initiative.
That hobgob.
Natural 20!
Natural 1.
Oh,
22.
13.
Okay. Temerity with a natural 1.
So that's a 3 for me, and Giz is a 15.
And Maverick is... Maverick is a 17.
Do I
Okay.
need to roll something? I was dealing with my dog.
Initiative.
Oh, sorry.
Maverick is 17. Bubbles is a 22.
Felix is a 23.
Whoa.
Plus 6 initiative
13.
bonus.
13.
For me.
All right. You kind of stop in your tracks. So you're kind of at the end. You're at this like kind of large-ish cavern, and you can hear the fighting behind you, but you can see this reddish figure is going to kind of stand between you and escape, but you can hear more coming behind you. Jasper is kind of in the middle. He's holding his side, and he says, either we need to deal with him fast, or some people are going to have to hold the rear. And Felix, you have first of initiative.
I'm gonna push forward. Can I push forward?
Yes.
Directly
We're all
up
willing.
to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna stab him with the spear that I have.
Okay.
One-handed. It's versatile.
Okay.
I have the dagger in my other hand as well. The first attack is gonna be an 18 spear.
18 hits.
Okay. Total of 6, 11, 13, 14, 15 damage. Because I have my sneak attack swashbuckler.
Oh, that's right. You're level 3.
Yep.
Uh-oh, shit.
And then offhand attack with my dagger is a 22.
Yeah.
My boy. With 6 damage.
So
He
you
kinda
all...
rushes forward and overhand stab with the spear, underhand stab with the dagger.
And he's
Yeah.
just this scantily clad man.
You see this?
And
You see this guy?
Yeah. I'm just like,
That does it.
Oh my god!
how much damage?
It was a total of like
21.
20 something. 21.
That's sneak
21.
attack.
I
Ah.
gave him 20 HP, and I figured his high AC would hold you off for a bit.
Alright.
No, that's fine. That's D&D. That's D&D,
That's
baby.
fine. I was
So-
gonna kneecap him, but this
Before-
is better.
So
Oz is
And
turned
then
on.
Breathing
Also
really
turned on.
hard.
before
Like,
before
You can see, like his ribs.
Yeah, he just before Jasper can even finish that, Felix, who can now finally see, literally just makes a. He's like, I've been in here for way too fucking long, and just like it looks all imposing. It's almost anticlimactic. Just one gets over the breast, the chainmail into kind of the clavicle, and then right just a gut stab, and just lets him topple behind the stairs, and he just looks over his shoulder
Yeah,
like,
he turns
coming?
over, he turns around, looks at you, he kind of does like a half grin, and then just
Oz
kinda
has Oz has the sweaty upper lip, and it's just like,
Giz is thinking back to Jasper when he was like, someone needs to hold the rear, and he kind of looks at his tail and is like, why are we holding our rears?
no.
Oh.
I will say, okay, so you make your way into the smithy room, and you can hear there's some that most of the goblins, they went down trying to chase you, but you can hear some on that side passage. So what is you will have to go into that crack if you're going in the crack.
I love going in a crack.
Shut up.
I'll go
Yes.
first.
Oz will go first. Okay. I'm
I
going
will
to
hold
say
the rear until everybody is through.
Wait, does
Okay.
the body have anything nice on it?
which body.
The
one that-
hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
You will have to take. So you will take.
Can I take his longsword?
Well, so do you want to hold the rear? Or do you want to search the hobgoblin?
I just want to pick up his weapon.
Okay, you can. You have your yes, you can pick up the longsword. Temerity, make me an investigation check. Oz, you start to crawl through the crack. It's going to be. I'm going to basically say it's difficult terrain.
23.
Squeezing through. So you see on his neck there is a necklace with a little blue bead.
Take it and then go.
It's a little like blue marble.
It's my
Right.
marble now, loser.
Okay, what's everyone else doing? So one person is going to have to move through that crack at a time. So this is now you're going to
We
basically
can't go in a line.
well yeah.
Go in like a
Well,
line.
yeah,
like
but it's like
you-
one.
you
It's
can,
one at a
but-
time.
yeah,
through the
one
crack.
at a
So we're gonna basically operating an initiative. This is kind of a wave survival thing now. The
Okay.
transition has become. So Oz has gone
goes to-
first.
Giz
You
will
have
I would like
follow
to-
Oz.
Pick up the weapon that he dropped, rage, and hold, and let my rest of the party go before I follow.
I think
Okay.
it'd probably go. Yeah, it'd probably go Oz, Giz, Jasper, because Jasper's hurt.
Yeah, Jasper
And
needs
then
to get out.
Felix.
And
Yeah, Felix will.
Felix.
He'll hang
Now-
down for a
Okay.
bit and
Well,
look
well-
at Bubbles and say, "Are you good? You
Well,
okay?"
I'm just going to say so you can't all use your action to move through because it takes a while to kind of get in, and in the process of this 6 seconds per
Gotcha.
turn. So Oz is so basically
Oz is
we're going to
going
do
first.
rounds. One person can go in a round.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
really?
That's what I'm gonna say.
So then let's
Okay.
have. So Oz will go in the first round.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Oz is each round at the
Well,
top.
to make
someone-
this interesting, logically, Oz would go first, but to make it interesting so that I can do something, I'll just have a Jasper go first so that we can have
Okay.
actually still do stuff in the round.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So Jasper will go in first. Yeah. This is kind of for the for the tension of okay, we're squeezing through, we're taking things. The rush of combat. One person is going to kind of go in a round. If that seems like too much, I might make it 2.
That's fine.
While they're
Jasper
going
is
through,
evacuated.
can Giz, the way that we came, can Giz cast? I think it's Entangle. Where's the spells?
That's a good spell.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll go cast
You have-
Entangle.
You have the way you went, and you have the side path. You have 2 exits to cover. So who's going to cover where? Bubbles holding at the back where you came from.
Whatever the bigger, wider entrance is, that's where Giz is gonna put Entangle, because it's like a 20-foot cube.
I would say he has to pick one or the other. They're similarly sized.
Whatever Bubbles is not touching.
Okay. So he casts Entangle there, so I'll put Giz there. Oz, do you want to kind of stay in the middle?
I'll stay in the middle. Do I see anybody yet? Or no?
Not yet. You'll see how this is going to go. So I'm just to kind of go faster than initiative. I just want to know where everyone is, and then we're going to
Okay.
go through
In the
this
middle.
real fast. Oz in the middle. Okay.
Yeah, I'll look
Felix.
down at one of the I'll look down one of the pathways with Bubbles. I'll
Okay.
take aim.
Felix
Yep.
is still standing by the body of whoever that guy was.
Okay. So you're actually by Bubbles and Temerity because they were
Okay.
searching. Okay, I
What
think
kind
that's
of
every
armor is he wearing?
chainmail.
Okay.
Okay. So we get 4 goblins coming up from the south where Felix, Temerity, Bubbles are, and we get 2 goblins coming from the side with the entangle. Now everyone takes an action. So we're just gonna, it's all gonna go at once. These are basically minions. So if you hit, they're dead.
Okay.
I'll shoot one.
Okay?
Eldritch
Roll.
Blast.
Roll.
18.
Dead.
23.
Dead.
You killed him.
Where is it? Sorry. I'm switching between the two. 17 to hit.
Dead.
Where's Maverick at?
Maverick is
Probably like
Giz.
chilling by, yeah.
okay.
Maverick's just gonna probably chill, I think, because he
Okay.
can't throw anything.
Okay. There's one more on the south, and there's the 2 on the right.
I'll spear the one that's on this.
Okay. Roll to hit.
14.
Miss.
Okay.
Can I go again or no?
I'm waiting for everyone. Then more goblin. I'm gonna spawn more goblins, and then
Should I
you
roll
can choose
for-
one
can
person
Maverick
to go.
hit from where he's at? I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, this is basically you're holding the doorways and you're like just clobbering them as they come while people evacuate.
I guess Maverick will just like prepare an attack against if one gets through. Yeah.
Well, there's two coming at him.
No, but the 2 coming from the
Oh.
side have the entangle. They have to
That's
spell
right,
save
so-
DC strength against 14.
That's right. Hold on, you're right. That is why he did that.
Okay.
One rolled a 16, one rolled a natural 1, so one gets through,
Okay, so he rolled a 25 to hit.
and it's dead.
And then
Okay.
Giz will just bite the other one.
Well, it didn't even get to him.
Oh.
It's in the entangled. There were only 2. So next person to leave.
Giz,
Giz
I think.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Giz evacuates. 2 more from the bottom, and 2 more from the side. So there's 3 at the side, 2 at the bottom. Everyone take an action.
I also hit for 25.
Not one.
Dead.
I don't hit.
Miss.
Or 24,
17.
but you know.
Yeah.
17 to hit for Felix.
Dead.
Okay.
Bottom is
13
clear.
miss.
13. Yep, that's gonna be a miss. Okay, so the 2 ones, they see if they can get through the well, actually, there's doesn't get through the entangle.
Okay.
1 gets through the entangle.
15 to hit.
2 gets through the entangle. Okay, 1 dead.
For
So there.
Maverick rolled a 15.
He
total.
yeah. Two got through. So there's 1. So he is going to take. He's going to take an attack because it got through.
Wait, Giz can
Alright.
still bite though, or Giz
Giz
can.
is-
Maverick
Giz is-
punched,
Yeah, he
but
went.
Maverick can punch and
Ma-
got
Maverick-
Oh
a.
yeah, he
Maverick
has
hit 1 for 15. I don't know if that hit.
kills.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have 1
But
HP.
there's still
he has
one.
his- he has a bone, but he is a monk, so he can do his bonus action attack to try and kill that one too.
Oh, okay.
So roll another.
No, he's out of key points.
No,
Oh, he
that's
didn't
just
use-
martial arts.
He didn't use
Oh.
his key point to get away, remember? He took the attack of opportunity.
It's you monks automatically have a bonus action offhand attack
Forgot about
without
that.
key. So roll another one. He just needs to hit.
Okay, well that's a 16.
Kills. Cool. Okay. So
Next.
all of them are dead.
Probably Maverick.
Maverick will
That-
go.
Okay. Maverick is out. So this means that this leaves our ranged fighters, Temerity and Oz. You're going to have to cover the side. You lost your frontline fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Only 1 shows up on either side.
Okay, I'll hit.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh yeah. Oz can
18.
shoot one. I'll shoot the other.
The bubbles
Wait,
already. Bubbles
Wait,
already.
I thought we were shooting them because they were coming.
Well, only 1 came from both sides, so 1 came to melee with bubbles, so she killed.
Okay.
So 1 of the ranged people can shoot.
I got an 18, but,
That's
but
fine.
we could have both just been like, oh no, you first. No, you first. Just,
Sure. You both kill. So
Oz would have. Temerity would have probably been like, fuck.
Felix, you
It's gone.
actually. Everyone else is kind of covered. Not enough goblins came that round, so you could also leave if you want to.
I'll go.
You have a free action.
Yeah. I'll
Felix is out. You just have Bubbles, Temerity, and Oz.
Do they have
All
any?
right.
Do they have any like spears, little weapons that they've dropped in there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a couple and then I'm gonna start pushing Oz through.
I'm gonna start leaving. I was going
Okay.
anyways.
So Temerity, Bubbles, are you going to stay?
I'm staying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
So we have 2 coming down the side with the entangle, 1 coming up to you, Bubbles. I'm rolling low on my spawns.
17 to hit.
Kills.
14 to hit.
Misses. They hit the entangle. 1 gets through. 1 does not. 1's going to try and attack you, Temerity, because it gets through. 15.
Yeah, that hits.
I'm so sorry. 7 damage.
That's fine. I still have 7 left.
Okay. So now one of you can leave.
Go.
Temerity, if you leave.
Go.
I can shoot them when they're coming down the hallway. Go.
I shove her.
All right.
Okay.
I'm raging. Go.
Okay. Bubbles, so you move into the center room where you see goblins coming in on both sides.
Yeah.
Temerity, you're going to leave. Bubbles, actually see if you can kill the one that's attacking Temerity first, so that she can leave safely.
Oh yeah, that's another 17 to hit.
Yeah, so Temerity's like, I can shoot the Bubbles, just go! The last spawn.
I don't know why, I just picture an attack voice. Don't be a hero, dear! Like, just fucking...
Bubbles is a hero, motherfucker! She's already a hero! Come at me, bro!
4 are going to come up from the bottom, so they get right up to you. 1 comes in from the side. I'm gonna see if it gets through the entangle. 12. It does not. So it's stuck. So Bubbles, you have 4. You can take out 1, and then you have to just survive 3 attacks, and you can get out.
Natural 20, so you know.
You know what? I'll say you kill 2.
Hell yeah!
All right.
It just cleaves through 2 necks.
Yeah. So they try, one gets a natural 20 on you.
Okay.
And 1 misses.
Okay.
You take... I rolled another 6. That's 12. That's 12, 14, halved to 7 again. Are you raging?
Yes, of course I'm raging. I've been raging this whole time.
How long does rage last?
Until I'm not hit or until I don't hit.
I thought it lasted either.
Because I raged again. Once.
Oh yeah, you did. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. You raged before this. Yeah. Okay. So half to 7.
Yep. I'm good.
You got 2 full damage crits, girl. All right. You get out. As you all start running, you reach the sunlight. You reach the forest. Felix, you notice passing this trap that they haven't let loose this whole time. It's a rock slide trap.
Okay.
You could probably set it off behind you and maybe cave things in a bit.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn to all of these strangers and say, keep moving, go. I'm gonna trigger them.
Give me a Thieves' Tools check.
Alright. Ooh. 22.
Ooh!
That'll be enough. So you wait, cut it, run, and as the goblins in your britches, all of these goblins, they see the ceiling starts to cave in, the rocks are falling. You see a couple just get squashed outright.
Rock skull, everyone dies.
As you all sprint, and you make it into the light of day. Clouds of smoke and dust fall in behind you. You're gasping for air. A lot of you are bleeding, but you are all somehow alive, and it's going to take a while for them to get out of that, and they have a whole bunch of angry kobolds to deal with.
Yeah, they do.
My party, you have reached level 3.
Fuck yeah!
Oh my god, I get to make a tiny little song!
But before, just right when everything's like dust settles, I'm just gonna turn over to Felix and be like, "Hi, honey, you want to get a drink?" And then that's it.
All right.
Hello, handsome. Yeah, that's all.
That is where we'll close for tonight, with an escape from the goblin, from my Mines of Moria, basically.
Yay! Ooh,
Good,
so fun.
Good job, everybody.
You got
That
me down
was
to 10 HP.
that was hectic.
Freaking thieves tool, the freaking lockpick, literally the best lockpick ever. Like, yes.
I left all my stuff inside.
I'm sorry.
You're just like us. Welcome to our world.
Yeah.
Just swinging in the breeze.
Now I have a long sword too. I'm so
That's awesome.
so good.
I will say, Felix, the reason why that little goblin was so mad at you and that it moved is you actually were able to pocket 2 items. you have a little blue sapphire crystal,
Okay.
Ooh.
which you know what that is.
Okay. Does
He
Felix
was
know what it is?
wondering. No.
Okay.
You just really wanted to piss that dude off.
Okay. I know what it is though.
So he started moving you. He figured that one of the other goblins took it.
Oh god, you
And
probably
eventually-
had to prison smuggle it out.
Oh,
You're
God.
only wearing your underwear.
I like to imagine the lockpick was under the tongue,
Yes.
and the crystal was
Up the butt.
Somewhere.
in the purse.
I do have to skedaddle my dears. But yeah, that was awesome. Super
Oh,
fun.
So good, so good.
Thanks everyone for watching
Yeah.
and
Thank
hanging out in chat.
Guys.
You guys can level up in the coming week.
Yeah.
Level
All right,
3
guys.
for your subclasses.
Take us out, Ink.
Take us out.
All right. So, when you're trying to escape an entire goblin clan and you forgot to unlock your second chain, always remember to add your proficiency bonus.
Ayo.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love
Love
you,
you, bye.